One random day about 6 years ago, a high school student named Cooper Remble was sitting in his bedroom minding his own business when a buddy brought over some studio equipment. And before long, these two were recording their own songs and daydreaming of becoming hip-hop superstars. Well, flash forward to today, and the California rapper, simply known now as Remble, has accomplished just that off the back of his distinctive style that the internet just can't seem to get enough of. So you know how there were mumble rappers? Well, Remble is more or less the opposite of that. In fact, a whole bunch of people online refer to him jokingly as a clarity rapper because he makes sure to properly enunciate every word that comes out of his mouth. Now, after a monumental couple of years, Remble has signed the Drakeo the Ruler Stink team, a crew that he has been a fan of for a long time before he started taking rap seriously. Sometimes it all just comes full circle when you're willing to put in the work. Want to learn just how hard Remble had to hustle? Then keep watching our newest episode of Before They Were Famous. Remble was born Unique Cooper Remble in the year 2000 in San Pedro, California. As a kid, Remble grew up all over Los Angeles County, moving from San Pedro to Long Beach before heading back to Lakewood and eventually landing in Bellflower. Now, all of this shuffling around wasn't necessarily easy on him, but it helped him appreciate the world from a litany of different perspectives. Looking back at his childhood now, Remble believes that this ability to branch out and connect with different people helped him refine his storytelling in his music. But without a doubt, the most difficult thing that Remble had to deal with early on in life was the fact that his father Clarence was taken from him when he was only 5 years old and thrown into prison for the last 15 years on non-violent drug-related charges. Remble hasn't seen his father outside of prison since he was a kid, but in 2015 there was a brief silver lining when a new law was passed that effectively reduced Clarence's sentence to 36 years. Of course, for a man who's already in his 50s, that's more or less still a life sentence. Now all Clarence wants to do is get out of prison to spend time with his family, including his mother, who he desperately wants to see due to her advanced age. Over on Instagram, Remble has shared his father's entire story out of hopes of spreading the word, keeping others from making mistakes, and one day, hopefully soon, getting to be reunited with his father once again. Now, in terms of his interests, it may surprise you to learn that Remble's musical tastes vary widely. Early on in his life, his parents would play music by the Big Timers and Lil Wayne, which initially introduced Remble to the genre of hip-hop. As he grew older, he started listening to acts like Dom Kennedy, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Drakeo the Ruler. No real surprises there, right? Well, here's the shocker. Remble is also a big fan of country music, because when he was younger, he used to share a room with his older brother, who was all about that twangy guitar and those sorrowful lyrics. Sorrowful. Huh. Good word, alright. Despite having a diverse foundation of musical knowledge in place, Remble's eventual beginnings in the art form came about more or less as a surprise. One day, sometime around 2015, a friend came over to Remble's to chill and brought over a host of recording equipment along with him. Soon enough, these two just started playing around with the mic, wound up recording a song, and found the whole process so enjoyable that they kept at it.
It all started when I was about like 14, 15. My boy had just brought some studio equipment over to my house, and we was just playing with that. We was pretty influenced by SOB at the time. That was when they was real hot, so we was real influenced by them. We was just trying to make a banger, and then I ended up making my first song, but I never had dropped it because everybody was just telling me it was weak or whatever. All my brothers like that, my friends. So I'm like, all right. But then I wrote another song.
With a smooth approach to his music, as well as some truly inspired wordplay and delivery, Remble immediately began setting himself apart from the other most wannabe hip-hop artists even as he was refining his craft. After graduating high school, he dropped some of these early examples of his work over on SoundCloud, listen to the feedback he'd receive from his fans, and then incorporate what he learned on the next track. Eventually, he did feel emboldened to write what he calls his first real song, the song that would become 2018's Fortnite, which was the first single he ever recorded in a professional studio instead of just his home setup. That song blew up overnight, and while it didn't go widely viral, its success still encouraged Remble to keep going and prove that he was on the right path. More than anything, it highlighted Remble's methodical groove as a lyricist that sets him apart from the rest. What makes Remble unique, if you'll excuse the pun on his first name, is how he purposely slows down his delivery to carefully pronounce each syllable so to make sure that no one misses either his slick references or his double entendres.
Like, if you notice, like, in TED Talk, it's not a cuss word in that much. Like, I'm really trying to explain. Like, I'm not trying to just sub in words. You know what I'm saying? To make fit or nothing. Like, I'm really trying to, like, when somebody listens to my music, I want them to have 100% understanding. And then on top of that, I really hate hearing music that I don't understand, like people slurring their words.
When asked why he's decided that this methodical delivery is the best approach for him to take, he told Complex, "When you're recording a song, you've got a choice not to mess up a word. You feel what I'm saying? I just don't stop until I make sure it sounds like it was delivered properly." Needless to say, his witty one-liners are basically tailor-made for platforms like TikTok, where his purposeful delivery also helps him stand out from the cornucopia of similar-sounding rappers.
The calmest dude that's threatening you and telling you what they doing at the same time without getting all crazy. Like you think he's just talking to you.
He just talking to you. That's like how we just talking.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
But just because Remble is going viral doesn't mean that he's some flash-in-the-pan artist who's pandering to a certain type of audience. Quite simply put, Remble switches things up too much for that to ever be the case. Whether it's the nonchalant nature of Ruth's Chris freestyle or the melodic autotune on 100 Bands, Remble has a song or two that's likely to please everybody. Speaking of Ruth's Chris freestyle, that song actually helped kick off Remble's real ascendance to hip-hop royalty. After a few years of not being sure where his music was taking him, and months spent not releasing a new track, Remble knew that the next song he dropped had to be special. Rather than release a full-blown track, Remble recorded a freestyle on Instagram and then tagged his former icon, Drakeo the Ruler, in it. Lo and behold, that video made its way to Drakeo, who loved it, then slid into Remble's DMs so they could team up and release the song properly. With a big name like Drakeo on the track, the song quickly became Remble's highest viewed music video at the time, racking up over 9 million views since its release in January of 2021. Knowing that he was in the midst of a moment, Remble dropped Gordon Ramsay Freestyle next, which Pitchfork would call the must-hear rap song of the day. From that moment forward, Remble has continued to build and build. He's even accomplished yet another boyhood dream by signing to Drakeo's crew, the Stink Team, under the Warner Records umbrella. With their help, he dropped It's Remble, his debut studio album, in July of 2021.
He was just with me. Like at first he was just fucking with me. Then he had told me like that I want to be a part of the Stink Team. I'm like, hell yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah.
Like you don't gotta do no more talking. Like, hell yeah, like Drakeo been my favorite rapper since I was 14, so.
With singles like the aforementioned tracks plus a Lil Yachty collab called Rock Climbing, that album would peak at the #2 spot on the Billboard Heat Seekers chart and leave Remble poised for an even more impressive 2022. Alright guys, I think that'll bring this look at the come up of hip hop artist Remble to an end. What did you guys think of his story? Please be sure to leave us some thoughts down below, and don't forget to leave us some names of celebrities you may want to see next. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.